Hello and welcome. I'm the CineHistorian, and I got to see the new Frankenstein movie, and let me tell you about it. This is the newest adaptation of Frankenstein from the great Guillermo Del Toro, director of The Shape of Water, Pan's Labyrinth, and many more great movies. In this movie, we follow two plots. One of Victor Frankenstein, played by Oscar Issac, who desperately wants to cure death. In his pursuit, he gets funded by his brother's fiance's uncle and falls for his brother's fiance. He makes a creature, played by Jacob Elordi, and then we see the plot from Elordi's perspective, which is the creature roaming around trying to survive a world that hates him. Both plot lines are solid. Oscar Issac holds up his end of the movie very well with a solid and fun performance. It's almost comical with how mad he gets, and he sells it well. Yet the shocking performance here is Jacob Elordi as Frankenstein's monster. I always thought he was a fine actor, nothing special, but his Frankenstein's monster is incredible. One of the best performances I've seen this year. The torture scenes where he's bullied by Victor, he sells so much pain, and his eventual lead up to being intelligent through the help of a blind man who takes him in is great. It's all so convincingly done and beautifully acted. I usually don't get emotional in movies, but his performance legitimately moved me, which I'm a little embarrassed to say. I don't know how Elordi did it, but damn, I'm convinced now that he is an amazing actor, or Del Toro is just a hell of a director, or it's probably both. That's what I liked most here, as I don't think this is a perfect movie. I found the pacing to be a little off-kilter at points. This is staged like an epic, clocking in at 2.5 hours, but it focuses on some of the wrong things. The movie is staged around Victor hiding on a boat from the monster trying to kill him, and the story is told to the captain of the boat. It takes time setting up, getting to the monster, but then it skips over a lot of what got them to the ship, choosing to say, "You chased me across the globe," and then skipping right to the boat. It feels rushed. I personally would have been fine with a 3-hour movie, or trimming it a bit somewhere else to not rush the third act. Not only that, but I do wish this movie looked better. Del Toro usually has great special effects in his movies, and the practical stuff here is incredible. I love the use of animatronics, yet the CG was wishy-washy. Scenes like one where wolves show up is dark and ugly, and it looks incredibly fake. So you get great practical stuff, especially with makeup and costumes, but then there's just some poor CG work against that. Not only that, but this movie has that Netflix look with extremely saturated colors and an overly dark picture. Yet it's not stylized that way. It just happens to look that way. You know, Netflix productions all look the same, and I hate that. It sucks because on the big screen, which I'm lucky I got to catch it in the theater during its limited run, because any movie is better in the theater. And there are some huge sequences and some awesome shots to see on the big screen, yet the colors always felt like they were made for the Netflix app. It loses a bit of personality in doing that, and I think on the TV it's not gonna look any better. Yet, I complain. It's still an excellent movie. It's got a fun blockbuster plot, great performances, and it's an entertaining horror flick. I had fun the whole time, and my negatives are more nitpicky, but it stops it from being a great movie to me. Still a ton of fun and worth checking out. I'd recommend watching it in the theater if you can, but it will be on Netflix very soon. And if you enjoyed this review, leave a like, it really helps me out in the algorithm. Subscribe to keep up with more content like this, and I'll see you here next time.